Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where history meets adventure. I'm Simon Fairfax and I write historical fiction. If you like and subscribe to this channel, I'd be really grateful. Today I'm going to talk about another period of the 100 Years' War. So why am I here in the 100 Years' War that was fought primarily against France on the Welsh borders, the Marches, where all the martial laws ruled? And at this period of time was a very, very important matter for Henry IV. So why am I here? Well, Henry was fighting on three fronts. He was obviously fighting the French, he was fighting the Scots. The Welsh prince, Owen ap Glendower, had raised the whole of Wales against King Henry and was a massive thorn in his side. He'd failed to turn up 7 years earlier for the Battle of Shrewsbury in 1403, but he was fighting his own private war, securing the whole of Wales against King Henry. Something had to be done. King Henry had found a way to destroy his power base and take back the castles, but he was having one final throw of the dice here sometime in 1410. Now I say 1410 sometime because I looked into and did all the research as I usually do, but there's one piece missing. And this is where history stops and adventure begins. And as an author, we love this because we can insert our characters into it. So we knew there was a final battle. We know this was his last throw of the dice. We know it was somewhere on the Welsh marches, and we know it was somewhere in August, September, but even the Glendower Society couldn't tell me exactly when. So I inserted it here at Stokesay Castle, perfect place, somewhere between, it's north of Ludlow, south of Shrewsbury, the perfect place to reignite this war with England and get all the Welsh together. Here you can see the landscape and the approach to the castle. If you had a really strong army gaining surprise, they'd rush across these plains straight up to the castle, a small moat to cover, and then you're in. Fabulous hiding. It was the perfect place, to my mind, to set this one final battle. But what happened? There was an ambush. Nobody knows how they found out about it, but they did. Now, the medieval period was full of spies, none more so than I've said before of merchants, and this castle was then owned by a merchant family who specialised in wool. So what better place for Jamie de Grisper, my hero, to be implanted to find out? Now, in my story, because nobody knows who started the ambush, who alerted them, he is the driving factor. Perfect for me. And then Lord Grey of Codnor was the person, an old enemy of Glendower, who led the charge against him. Caught out on this plain before the castle, the battle thrived, but Glendower, in his typical fashion, known as the magician, escaped to fight another day, more in my later stories. But even as Glendower escaped the battle, his three major lieutenants were captured: Philip Scudamore, Rhys ap Tudor, and the famous Black Rhys, a famous warrior in his own right. These three were taken to the Tower in London, where they were hung, drawn and quartered as traitors, and their parts distributed across the UK to put down any thoughts of rebellion from the Welsh in the future. For the time being, King Henry IV had won, and now his real battles began with the Scots and the French.